the rest of the oceans because of the isolation of the Arctic Ocean. Okay? So again, if such oil spills are taking place, it would be very, very difficult process. Now these oil spills, in fact, they would have several harmful consequences in the biosphere of this region. Okay. Otherwise, also improve or increase human activities, they would have harmful consequences on the biosphere of this region. You might be knowing that if you talk about these areas, the surrounding coastal land are basically tundra regions. Now, in the tundra regions, most of the, if you talk about biosphere, it is fauna. Flora is comparatively limited. Fauna is more important. Now, most of this fauna is dependent upon seafood. One important feature of the fauna that is living here, it is dependent upon seafood. Okay. So, for example, seals, fishes, all these are dependent. These are major food sources for the animals that are living there. So again, what would happen? It would have huge impact on the whole food chain of this Arctic region. Okay? So there would be huge loss of biodiversity that can take place. Then again, here the people that are living here, Inuits or Eskimos we call them. So again, they are tribal people. It would also have an impact on their ecology. Okay? So all these you write ultimately, and this is how you will be writing it. If you want, you can also give some kind of suggestion that there should be, or here actually suggestion is more or less because it is bound to happen. This resource war, you can say, or resource race has already started in the Arctic. Okay. So again, UN should be very, very important mediator here, how the resources should be distributed, and the exploitation of these resources should be definitely controlled in a better manner. Okay? So this is how I will be attempting this paper 1 of geography. Okay? Any questions?
Sir, for your program to span out for the next one.
I'm coming to that. Okay. Now. First thing from this discussion, what we can see is that ultimately most of these questions were very, very contemporary. Okay? And traditional questions, there was both application of the traditional knowledge as well as contemporary knowledge. Okay? Now, many of these were very applied. Okay? So, you will have to produce these answers then and there. So again, for that, better understanding is very, very important, along with definitely your reading of the newspapers, which many of the students tend to not to do. This should be avoided because whatever I will teach in the class, okay, that we try to introduce all those contemporary things that are there. But again, what you are reading, you can understand that that can never be exchanged for anything. Okay, that is more priceless. So you should keep on reading your newspapers as if it is a polity or history. You devote for these subjects some time. Okay. So every day it should be taken as a subject because its significance, particularly for your mains, has enormously increased. Okay. In prelims, you might have seen that questions are very, very traditional. But ultimately, what happens is, in the mains, most of the questions are very contemporary. So you should keep this in mind first of all. Now, as you know, we'll be starting our geography module classes. Now, in this geography module classes, first thing I find very, very problematic with the students is that most of the students do not have basic of geography. Basic is totally missing. Okay? And this basic, in the form of, if we talk about, in the form of map work. Okay. So what we are going to do is, first I'll be providing a schedule to you tomorrow, a proper schedule. Next 5 days we are going to just focus upon map work, total map work. We'll be doing world mapping as well as India mapping, because the thing which I am going to start is more challenging part of our syllabus. You might have seen the syllabus, and in the syllabus it is asking you about to study definitely the physical phenomena. But the second and most challenging part is to study about the resources and industry. Now if you talk about these resources and industry, no ready-made material is available, first of all. Okay, nobody is talking in that sense, in which sense the UPSC is asking the questions. Okay, so that part I am going to start first. This economic geography part, that is why I am going to do for a few days, we will be devoting on just map work. We will complete this map work so that we have a base prepared to study this economic geography. Now again, when we are starting with this economic geography, our focus, because we already would have done some mapping, it would be very easy for us to understand the locations. That would not be a problem, that what issue would be gone, first thing. Second thing is, that means we will be more able to focus upon why and how, which the examination is demanding. You might have seen the syllabus. In the syllabus, it is mainly talking about factors affecting location of industries. That is one topic that is mentioned. That means it is clearly asking you factors affecting location of industries. Location of industries to padna hi hai, we have to study, but we should be paying more focus to the factors which are affecting this location. How these factors has changed over time, and how regionally these factors are different. Okay, so we'll be studying in this manner only. For example, when we'll be talking about agriculture, we'll be focusing upon factors which have led to development of this kind of agriculture. Okay, so for example, if you talk about rice cultivation, so rice cultivation, we can talk about various types of factors. One type of factors would be definitely physical factors. So we'll be talking about physical factors, all those types of physical factors. But definitely what is happening, there are other factors also, human factors, they are equally important. So we'll look into how culture has played an important role, how government policies have played an important role, how MSP etc. is responsible for this much growth of rice, how it has affected the pattern of growth of rice. Okay, so like this we'll be talking, we'll be taking agriculture. When we'll be taking agriculture, we'll be taking it as an industry. We just assume it as an economic industry. Okay, so all those factors we'll be talking about. Similarly, manufacturing industries, we'll see there are so many types of factors, whether it is related with raw material, transportation cost, or other types of factors like capital, market. So all those factors we'll see how they have affected the location of industries in India as well as throughout the world. Okay. In recent times, definitely you can understand service industries. They are also mentioned as a part of tertiary industries which we have to study. They are there. So again, we'll see that what are the factors. We'll see that their market is more important than resources. Okay. So we'll see how this market is affecting. All those aspects will be dealing with. Okay. So the first part of our studies here in our program, it would be concentrating on this economic geography aspect. We'll be starting with first thing, that is mapping. Then we'll move on to resources. Second part is resources. Once we understand these resources, then we'll be able to deal with industries. Okay. Then as we move on from industries, we'll move on to other factors. That is another very important thing that we have to study is population and urbanization. Okay. So all the demographic processes we'll be talking about, as well as related with them, that is urbanization, all those aspects, slums, etc., all those geographical aspects, whatever they are under my purview of the subject, we'll be talking about all those aspects. Okay? Then we'll be moving on to our next part, that is physical geography. Okay? So like this we are going to continue. Tomorrow I'll have a detailed discussion on in first part we'll be just talking about what is geography, because just understanding few things about geography will help us to understand our syllabus in a better manner. Okay? First thing. Second very important thing, we'll be looking into our schedule, how we'll be moving on with our schedule, all those topics. I'll also provide you a detailed breakup of the syllabus, all those topics. Within the topics, for example, when we are talking about primary industries, what type of primary industries we'll be talking about. For example, when you talk about water resources, again you can see one question on water resources this year only was asked. Next year other type of topics which have been frequently in use can be as, for example, concept of virtual water. So what is this concept of virtual water? For these types of concepts, I will be providing a breakup of syllabus tomorrow. Okay? So that is how we will be moving on. Also, I will be providing the tentative dates how I will be finishing the syllabus. Now, most of the things I will also tell you some methodology of my which I have developed in a few months. I found that most of the students that came to me, they had a little bit of less geographical understanding. Okay. Most probably because wherever they completed their classes, they were not dealing geography in that much depth, which is definitely required by the examination. Okay. So again, but the problem arises if we go into too much depth, then too much time would be consumed. So what I have done is that I have developed a kind of integrated approach where earlier I used to dictate too much in the class. Now I will be providing printed material. I have made the material more in pointed format so that you can read it in that manner. Okay. So I will be providing that kind of pointed this type of material, breakup type of material. Also few things, analysis parts, those things will be having through dictation in the class. Okay. So this methodology will be followed, and definitely then we will be able to do this. All those depth etc. will be able to take care in that. Now, if anybody has any questions, you can ask.
So you are going to cover in environment part also?
Definitely, environment part also, or as well as disaster management.
So pre-oriented or main?
Both. Environment, if you talk about, see, first of all, that you should remove from your mind is difference between pre and mains. You will find hardly there is. Difference is mainly in how you practice both of them. When you are reading it first, you should not be making any kind of distinction. Just read it in a broad sense, whether it is for pre or mains, because ultimately understanding is the most important aspect. If you have developed a better understanding, then what would happen, your second stage of preparation arrives, where for prelims mainly what you do, you solve your questions, you solve as many questions as you can, objective type of questions. Second, for mains what you have to do, ultimately you have to write. Okay? And in the class we will be writing also so many questions. Okay? So that would include both.
Sources for environment and disaster management.
Sources for environment and disaster management, there are many. Disaster management, if you talk about, you can pick up any material and go through that disaster management. Just in case of disaster management, the thing is, you should understand the basic of disaster management. What is disaster management, cycle of disaster management. You just study that, and you will find that once you have understood this, with contemporary analysis, with your reading of the newspaper, the questions, one question is asked, every year the questions are very, very easy. Okay. When we will be discussing that, we will be talking about disaster and disaster management. Okay. So it would not be a problem, because disaster and disaster management, once you understand the concept, it is not problematic. For example, if you talk about disasters, we will see that disasters are kind of result of environmental hazards. Okay, so we will see that disasters, if you talk about, they are arising because of this combining of hazard. When this hazard combines with your incapacity, then what is happening, or simply we call it as vulnerability. So when this hazard combines with vulnerability, what is happening, that is creating a kind of disaster. That becomes disaster. Okay? So that is one type of concept that you must understand. Similarly, we will see that if you talk about management, there are three types of management techniques that are there, which we generally use. So whether you talk about pre-disaster management, whether you talk about during disaster management, or you talk about post-disaster management, in all of them we use these three types of techniques. Okay? So those three basic types of techniques, if you understand, you will be able to understand anything about disasters. Okay, so disaster management is definitely very, very conceptual, as well as it becomes factual if they are asking in relation to any particular kind of disaster. Okay? For example, if you look into the vocabulary of disaster by Government of India, they are also classifying mine disasters as disasters. Also they are using this heat waves, cold waves, they are also included as a part of disaster. Okay. So now when you are reading this, when you know that heat wave is also part of disaster, you might have seen that in the month of April and May, heat wave was one of the issue that was forming the headlines. Okay? That means you should have prepared for that heat wave policy of India. Okay? So again, once you understand what is disaster, the stages of disaster, the methodologies that we can adopt, it would be very easy. And for environment, if you talk about, definitely at environment, I found that notes of that coaching concept, Shankar IS. That is very good. Okay? Just important thing is environment में देखो क्या होता है, दो तरह का question. One type of question is which can be easily answered. Okay? Other type of question which is very very difficult. Remember always in UPSC it is the rules that get you selected, never the exceptions. Okay? So do not just run behind those exceptions. एक दो question हमेशा ऐसा होगा which would be very very difficult. Now what students do, they just run behind those exceptions, which is not advisable. Okay? If you just understand the basic rules of the environment, take any basic book, you read that. For example, if you just want to know all these books and material which is prepared, there is one common book for that, P.D. Sharma, Environment and Ecology. Okay? But that is very very thick book. You will have to search from it number of things. So again, it is already done by number of these notes. So just pick up any of those notes and just read it. Environment, if you talk about, once you have understood the basics of environment, it is more contemporary. What is happening in news, that is more important. Okay, so we will be taking into account both of those. Okay.
Sir, in 17th question, you told to write about shortcomings of the statement or against the statement. What points would form here against the statement?
Against the statement, बताया तो. Against the statement, mainly what we said, that this problem is arising mainly because of the traditional methods of tourism that have been developed. Okay?